Well, Gaffy, you said last week was a big week, and this week is, I'm not going to say an even bigger week, but because you've got 2 home games, you want to make the most of what you've already laid down.
I think it is an even bigger week. I think it's a very, very important week for the season as a whole. We've obviously done well in the last 5 games. 5 out of 5 is excellent. 3 clean sheets. Some, tough opposition. And you get to the end of the 10 games, that'll mean 5 at home, 5 away. At the moment, we've only played 3 at home and 5 away. So, yeah, it's a very important week that we have to put our foot down now and keep going. And obviously, tomorrow night's going to be another difficult game, regardless of where teams are in the league. It doesn't make any difference if we go and drop our standards. Then there's a likelihood that you're going to get beaten in the game. So we've got to make sure we maintain our standards, and I think that's the real key message I've got to the players today, that this could be as vital a week as we're going to get for the whole season.
You must be pleased as well that people outside were talking about the away form, but to win 3 of those games, again, local derby, in 2 really tricky away games, says that that's not a mental thing at all. That's good performances.
Well, I think we've won it in different ways, and you're absolutely correct. The games we've had, the 8 games, you would have to say it was a tough start for us. A derby is always a tough game. Whether there's fans there or not, we know what it means. It was a very convincing victory. Then to go at Wigan and Hull and get 6 points is, probably 2 of the hardest games you're going to face. So Sunderland were very unlucky to lose. Accrington, I've spoke about enough, and their form's been good. So, and then you add to that Fleetwood and Oxford. So it's been a tough start for us. But the players have been excellent, and I can't have any complaints about their mentality, the characters they've shown. We didn't do it last season, coming back from behind. We've done it 3 out of 8 games already. So a lot of things that we needed to improve on we have, and now we have to be consistent in the results and obviously the performances, but the results mainly. And like I say, it's another difficult game tomorrow night. We've watched them in detail as we do every opposition, and they've got some very good players and some real strengths to their team. So it's going to be another difficult game, but we have to maintain what we're about and keep that consistency. Something that can't change is the way we're approaching games, and the way we're dealing with different things in games has been excellent, and that's something that we need to maintain.
Yeah, and they showed Burton when we played them in the EFL Trophy that if you stand off them, they are going to cause you problems.
Yeah, and I don't think it would be too dissimilar. The team, they were very strong that night. Bostwick played, Brayford played, they're both out by the looks of things. They've got 1 or 2 different changes, but in the main it was a strong team, and I think they've got some very good players.
Yeah, he's starting out in his management career, Jake Buxton, and I guess when you start out at this level against good teams, if you don't hit the ground running, it can be difficult. And I suppose, given when you started, there's so many challenges you don't foresee, I guess.
Yeah, it can be a real challenge. It can be a real lonely place as a manager when you go through runs where you're not getting wins and you think, where's the next one coming from? I suppose they may approach it in a very relaxed manner, in the sense that they might think they've got nothing to lose, and in that sense they can maybe play with a bit more freedom. I don't know. What I've got to make sure I concentrate on is demanding more out of my players, and that's something we spoke at in great detail today. And there's no game of football where you can just turn up and win. I think they're in a bit of a false position, because I think they're better than that, but yeah, like I say, we still are quite early in the season.
Yeah, you spoke after the game on Saturday about the different types of 10s in terms of Flynn and Bruni, what they can offer, and that must be nice when you have so many different types of 10, because as you say, in different games you're going to need different personnel.
Yeah, I think when we recruited in the summer, we obviously had Sarhat, we had a plan for him that's obviously not come through as we wanted to get him out to League Two. And then we brought in Ryan and we brought in Sammy back. We felt they were 2 different types of 10s. The emergence of Flynn's been a massive bonus and positive for us. And he again is slightly different to those 2, so we have got good options there. I felt the game Saturday was a good one for Ryan, but I felt the tactical work we'd done, there was a bit of not confusion, but the pitches in the game changed. They didn't press us as much. The midfielders didn't press us, so we needed Ryan to stay in the middle more, closer to Jono, and we spoke about that at half time. And I just felt the way the game was going that Flynn would give us that, because he is a different type of 10. So not necessarily when you make substitutions it's about the player that's come off their performance. It's more about a tactical change, and that's really what it was. And that's what I've explained.
Yeah, Joe Ward's made more assists this season than he did in the entirety of last season. That says a lot about probably his confidence level.
Well, I think so. I think he's very good in both. wide in terms of wing back or winger, and he's a very good crosser of the ball. He's now providing more quality in terms of assists, which is something he had to improve on. He has done. He's playing very, very well. He's been very consistent, and he's looking a real threat. And he also gives you a real shift. So I've been delighted with Joe. Absolutely delighted with him.
Yeah, I don't want to talk a goal in, but he seems to like Burton. He's scored a couple of goals against them, so he gets in the position.
Yeah, I mean, he went through a run where when you remember last season, he won the game in the last minute. Outstanding effort. And sometimes that happens. You get teams that, and I hope that's the case again tomorrow. But yeah, certainly he's in very good form at the moment.
Yeah, he said Sammy was 50-50 after the game on Saturday. Whereabouts do you think? Is he still at that level?
Probably, I would say 70-30 that he's going to play.
Okay.
I think he's got more of a chance than I thought he did. He trained yesterday and came through it well. We're awaiting another result on a scan, just a precautional thing, but we think he's got a chance.
And with the games coming thick and fast, anyone who picks up slight knocks,
Yeah.
There's always going to be a doubt. Is anyone struggling from Saturday?
No, I think I've got to be mindful of any signs and players that we trust one another. They have to be honest, and the one thing we don't want are injuries. But I look at the run of games we've had, and we've managed them between the games, in terms of not doing much on the training ground. I look at the next block of games, which is obviously tomorrow and then Saturday and then Tuesday. Then we've got the cup match and then a Cambridge game, so there could be a chance there of a 10-day gap between games, Bristol and Crewe, of a bit of a freshener for some of them, which I think I probably will do, regardless of who we get in the cup.
And just finally on the cup, which is the first round draw tonight, is it a weird one this year? Because in normal circumstances you say you just want a home draw, and I suppose that's kind of what you want, but the likelihood is that you could get a side where there would be fans. Like a non-league side, you might have home fans or you might have home and away fans. Is it just a case of simply give me a tie at home and work from there?
Give me a tie at home, please. We go to Bristol on the Tuesday. We would really like it if we were at home on the Saturday. So all I'm interested in is, can we get a home tie? And I'll be happy, no matter who it is.